All right, here we go. We're going to do a Fire Tiger walleye bait today, and we are going to be using bucktail. We're going to be using the Sally Hansen's. We're going to be using UV resin. We're going to be using a green bucktail, a yellow bucktail, and an orange bucktail. And you can rotate those colors with any one you want. You can use black, white, red. You know, any color. Use your imagination. Use your imagination. Go on websites. Look at, go to Bass Pro's website. Look at pictures of walleye baits and decide what you want and create your own. And we're going to start out. Sally Hansen's right here on the shank of the hook, right behind the head. We're going to be using 210 Danville's 210 waxed denier thread. We're going to build up right behind the head. This will be slightly tapered neck. And we're going to stop right there. That's all we are tying on this one. Using an 1/8 ounce jig head with a number 4 walleye hook. And I apologize, I don't know the number of this hook. I did it one time and have totally forgot it. It is actually a walleye hook. It's got that wide gap bend in it, and I cannot remember the name or the number of this jig head. If I find it, I'll try to post a link to it in there. But these are designed for walleye. So we are going to start out with our orange right in the middle. And I'm going to start out, I want my orange to go a little bit past the stuff on the outside. So we're going to go down through here and we're going to pick out a strand, a good strand. Right there looks like a good one, right from the tip. I hate starting with the tip, but that's what we're going to do. And we're going to go about the shank of the hook and another shank of the hook. So we're going to go all the way back here to where my fingers are touching to begin with, and that's where we're going to cut. So that's what we got. We're going to lay that up here on the table, and we're going to cut that piece out with our trusty Dollar General scissors. And I like those because they got that bend right there. You see that? Makes it nice to get up in there close sometimes to cut stuff. I think they're like $4.99 a piece at Dollar General. I don't spend a lot of money on them, but that's what we got. So we are going to start out with that one right there on the shank of the hook, and we are going to push it all the way around the shank of that hook to where it's covering both sides of it. We're going to do a loose wrap just to make sure we got it, and I don't want to have to start over on it. Here's the best tip you're ever going to get for tying with bucktail craft fur. Add a small amount first and see if you like it. And if you like it, go with that. If you don't like it, then add more to it. Don't over add on your bucktail, your craft fur and stuff like that. I got a bald spot right there on that side. I want that covered up, so I'm going to cut out another piece. Don't be careful on how much you add to begin with. It's easy to add to, but it's almost impossible to take away. So we got a smaller amount we're going to put right there on the side. And that's probably almost too much, but we're going to let it kind of go around the shank of the hook some. And you ain't got to worry about getting all that covered up to begin with because you're going to be adding more to it. So there we go. We got that on first. Now what we're going to do, we're going to add another small layer of Sally Hansen's on it. Brush most of the excess off of that, and then brush it back on top. Right there. We're going to put multiple layers of glue on this. Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails, aka. You don't want to get to the end of this jig and have it start spinning on you. And that's what will end up happening if you don't have a good base on this. What'll happen is you'll start, the more you build up, the tighter you get, you'll catch the whole entire body rotating. Go small amounts. Go small amounts and use your Sally Hansen's on this one. So next we are going to pinch off a layer of green. And this is going to be a three layer bait. Green on the bottom, Orange in the middle, green on the bottom, and orange on top. Orange in the middle, green on the bottom, and yellow on top. So there's my bucktail. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to get some of the loose fibers out of it. Pick out from right there at the end. Going to lay it right on top. Kind of right up against the head. And it don't matter if this one goes all the way around the shank of the hook or not. And we are going to pull up tight coming from the bottom side. Loosen it up as you go around. And when you come up from the bottom, pull it up tight. If you pull up tight from the top, you'll spin the bottom. You'll spin that layer. And then we're going to do a couple wraps right there around the head just to keep bulking that up right there so we end up with that tapered neck. All right, so I'm going to pull it out of the vise for just a second. I'm going to get my orange where I want it at. And we're going to put it right back in that vise. And we're going to rotate it this way. So now we are going to put on our yellow. You'll see that sometimes with these tails that are dry, they'll break off kind of easy. And we are going to go right up here to the tip of it. And we're going to pull off more. And I'm pretty much keeping the equal amounts as I tie. And you don't have to. You can go heavy on the orange. You can go heavy on the middle, and you can go real light on the bottoms. You know, it's up to you. Use your imagination on how you want this jig to lay. Pull out our loose ends right there. We're going to brush on a little bit more. I'm taking all the excess off my brush. And then I'm just easily dabbing the top of it. I'm going to take that bucktail. We're going to lay it right on top. Right against the head is where I'm going at with that. And this is going to be pretty much the grand finale for this jig. And we're going to check it one more time before we get too right there. I usually take that bucktail and lay it right on the center of that hook. And we're going to bulk up right there. Remember, we're going for that tapered neck, and you don't have to. It can be perfectly straight from here. Kind of up to you on how you want this bait to look. We'll put them all back in the vise. They seem a little loose when they clamp down, so we're going to kind of help support it here a little bit. And we're going to wrap it. Now, if you're starting to get your thread where you're like, whoa, wait a minute, that's getting a little built up. I still got some fibers showing through here. I'm going to show you my trick. All right, we're going to whip finish it. Pull it kind of tight. We're going to trim all that off. So since I got a black neck, and if you got a red neck, green neck, big magic marker. Permanent marker. We're just going to go back and we're going to color all those fibers in. There we go. We got it. Okay. So what I want too is I want a black strip going down the middle of that tail. And I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to try to do it in the vise and see if I can't do it while it's in the vise. I can't swear that I'll be able to get it that way, but we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to take a piece of cardboard. I ain't going to do it that way. We're going to take it out of the vise and we're going to lay it on the table, and I'm going to show y'all how I do this. Okay, so I took that bucktail jig out of the vise. I laid it down on a flat piece of cardboard. I'm going to take a permanent marker. I'm going to pin that bait right down to that piece of cardboard, just like that. I'm going to hold it down where all those tail fibers are sticking out. I made a line on it. And that's all I do to get that line on those baits. And it will go through both sides. All right, so let's put it back in the vise to finish this bait up. All right, so we got that bait back in the vise, and that's just a little quick tip on how I do that line on those baits. We're gonna get our UV resin, coat the neck. Give the whole bait a good coat right there. Walleye bait. This one's gonna be banged up against the rocks quite a bit. There you go. Bucktail walleye jig. Let me know what you think about it. Got any questions, comments? Let me know. But there we go, folks. If you haven't yet, like, share, subscribe, and send me your feedback. Let me know what you think about this bait.